Hello, Jeremy Ellis here, maker of the Portenta Pro Community Solutions Arduino library. We'll work on any of the Arduino platforms. The point of this was, and while we're waiting here, I'm just going to show you what's loaded up here. Portenta Pro Community Solutions .hello blink. That's this program, and I'm going to fire it to. You got to make sure you're on the right board. I'm on the right port, and let's fire that off. Okay, so we're using the Portenta H7, but most of these this code could work on the Portenta Lite or the Portenta Lite connected. The reason for it is the Portenta is a little bit more advanced than some other Arduinos in that it can also run embed code, and that created some issues because when it first came out, there weren't a ton of examples. And so what this is just a ton of examples. But one of the first things you should always do, check the port, go back to serial monitor, and make sure A, it's blinking, because this code is supposed to blink, and B, it's writing to the serial monitor. If that works, then your basic setup is working. And here's your basic setup. And here's your blink. Notice with these boards that low is actually completing the circuit for the onboard LED, and so the light goes on with low, and that's one of the things that's slightly different. Why I started using the Portenta is I teach a robotics course. The new version with the Portenta is called Maker 100, and 2 years ago, here's another GitHub site. 2 years ago, I started working on examples, and then I made a ton of examples, but I eventually figured out how to make a library, and so all these examples are in this library. And if you go to the examples, and there are a ton of examples, and these are all simplified. So your first one, when you first get the Portenta, you can run any of these. Okay, you don't need accessories or anything. There are some utilities, embed. This is pure embed programming, which is one of the advantages of the Portenta, is you can do embed or regular Arduino programming. Here we have some RPC to communicate with the core, but I also have a few, let's get back there, of my way of communicating between the cores. And these are just brand new, and they are able to use just the Portenta. Very fancy there. We have sensors, a whole bunch of sensors. We have actuators, your servo, PWM transistors, stepper motors. You can read through all these things. Pretty easy to install. I just go to the Arduino install library and type community. And then typically the second one is Portenta Pro Community Solutions. So here, say you've bought some of the shields. So there's an Ethernet Vision Shield and a LoRa Vision Shield. So here's Ethernet, a specific web server. And I've got an MQTT Ethernet broker going. It's not the most stable. Here's LoRaWAN. And recently I just got Pure LoRa. And Pure LoRa brings up some interesting things where you don't actually need to connect to the TTN or Helium network. More stuff on this. If you purchase the breakout board, I've got some programs that are specific for the breakout board. Now, machine learning, this is my area. I have my own version of doing machine learning, but I've found Edge Impulse is ridiculously easy. Kids learn in 40-minute class, learn how to do these things. So I've got simplified. Now I've simplified what Edge Impulse has, and Vision with an OLED, Vision with Helium, MQT. We've got a couple advanced things. This is recent. This is using the SRAM to very quickly interact between the two cores. Here's my coding curriculum, which I have videos for. I should include the links somehow. Here are the videos on, this is just basic C++ programming, the main things I teach when I'm doing C++ programming. Let's get back in there. And community solutions. So I was on my curriculum. So strings, simple variables, for loop, arrays, structures, and then this is for gotchas, and I haven't done much there. So nice talking to you. I hope you enjoy it and curious about any questions.